Hey, Mrs. Lohoff here, helping you get ready for a quiz. Remember, you should only see one quiz in your assignment for today's lesson, and it should be named 3.07 addition of fractions. It should have that number in it. If you see more than one quiz, please let me know before you take it. There was an issue with Module 2, and for some reason, there were two quizzes showing up, and I don't want that to happen again. Let me help you get ready for the quiz here today. Remember, when we are adding fractions, the first thing you need to do is make sure that those denominators, those bottom numbers, are the same. So here we have 5/8 plus 7/8. It's already the same. So our total is going to be eighths, and we add 5 plus 7, that's 12. This is an improper fraction because the top number is bigger than the bottom number. That means we have a whole and some parts of a whole. I know that it takes 8 pieces to make a whole, and I have 12 pieces altogether. So if I were to draw it out, and I would have a pan, and one whole pan was 8 pieces, we'd have this entire whole, that's one whole, and then I would have some pieces left over. I would have 4 pieces of the 8 left over. Altogether, that would make 8 plus 4 is 12 pieces. And I would write that as 1 and 4/8. But now let's be careful, because if you look at 4/8, we can simplify that fraction. We can look at the numbers 4 and 8 and think, what can I divide each of those numbers by that's the same? And I can divide both of them by 2. So if I divide the top by 2 and I divide the bottom by 2, I am doing the same thing to both the top and the bottom. That keeps my fraction the same. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Oh, I could divide by 2 again. That means I could have divided by 4 to begin with, but that's okay. We still get to the right answer this way. Well, those are terrible 2s. There we go. This is also a 2. All right. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by that is 2. It's ugly. Is 2. So 4/8 is equal to 1/2. So now we have 1 and 1/2 as our final answer for 5/8 plus 7/8. All right, let's look at an example here. Our denominators are not the same. We have a denominator of 15 and we have a denominator of 10. That means we need to find the least common multiple to become our least common denominator. To find the least common multiple, we literally write out the multiples of 15. So 15 times 1 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. Wait a minute. I already know that I can multiply 10 by 3 to get 30. Once we have the same multiple or the same number in both of our examples, we have found our least common multiple, and that is 30. That's the smallest number that 15 and 10 have in common. So now we need to change the fractions so that their denominator is 30. Oh, we can do that. Let's erase this, get a nice clean one, and I want purple this time. Okay. 7/15 and 3/10. And we're going to make these into equivalent fractions where the denominator, remember the common denominator, was 30. I like to write that out first because then I don't forget to keep that number of 30. So to get from 15 to 30, we multiplied by 2. Whatever you do to one part of a fraction, you have to do the same to the other. 7 times 2 is 14. 7/15 is equal to 14/30. All right, now let's convert 3/10. To go from 10 to 30, we multiply 10 times 3. Whatever you do to the bottom number, you have to do to the top number. 3 times 3 is 9. So 3/10 is the same as 9/30. Now we can add them together. 14/30 plus 9/30 is going to be 14 plus 9 is 23. 23/30, and I cannot turn that into any smaller of a fraction. So here's my correct answer. Is it going to let me? It is, down here at the very bottom. All right. What fraction is equivalent to 18/33? Well, if I look at the examples, the denominators, here a denominator is 33. In 1/3, the denominator is 3. Here, the denominator is 11. Here, the denominator is 16, and here it's 22. That means they are reducing this fraction. They're trying to find probably its simplest form, definitely an equivalent fraction that is smaller. So I'm going to look at these two numbers and I'm going to think, that's what you heard me doing. What number can I divide each of these by that's the same? Well, 33 is my clue. 33 divided by 3. Can I divide 18 by 3? I can. So I'm going to do that to the top and the bottom. Because when you do the same thing to the top and the bottom, you are creating an equivalent fraction. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 33 divided by 3 is 11. 6/11 is equivalent to 18/33, and my answer is right there. Last one. Adding 3 fractions where our denominators are all different. It's the same process. We have to find that least common multiple. And now we're doing it for 3 numbers instead of 2. So we're looking for 3 because 1/3 has 3 as the denominator, and 9 and 2. All right. So this is where I copy my multiplication facts. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. I'm going to stop there and see if we can find some common numbers. 9 times 1 is 9. Ooh, they have that in common. But I know it's not going to be on the list for 2. Let's keep going. 9 times 2 is 18. Ooh, we have 18 here in the number 3. And I know that 2 times 9 is 18. So if I do my multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's 2s are really hard to write with my mouth. 16, I'm almost there. 18, there it is. And now I have my 3 numbers that are common for each of them. And that number is 18. So we need to change each fraction to an equivalent fraction that means the same with the denominator of 18. Then we can add them all up. All right, let's do that. We can do it. I have faith. Ooh, let's get rid of that. All right, so we have 1/3. And before I forget, we're making it equal to a fraction with a denominator of 18. We have 1/9. Same thing. We're going to make that equal to a fraction with a denominator of 18. And 1/2. Well, it looks like a Z, but you know that's a 2. All right. To get from 3 to 18, you multiply by 6. If you do that to the bottom, you have to do it to the top. That makes what you're doing the same, and it keeps the fraction equivalent. 1 times 6 is 6. All right. 9 times 2, so we multiplied this by 2 to get 18. Do the same to the top part of the fraction. 1 times 2 is 2. Last one. We multiplied 2 times 9 to get 18, so we have to multiply the top times 9. 1 times 9 is 9. Now we can add all 3 of these together, and we know when we add, the denominator stays the same. 6 plus 2 is 7, plus 9 is 16. Okay, I don't see that answer over here. But I am looking at these numbers, and I know, hang on a second, I don't see the correct answer there. I just realized my mistake. I added wrong. 6 plus 2 is 8, and 8 plus 9 is 17. So if you don't see the right answer, take a look at what you're doing, because you might have done something wrong. I was going to reduce that fraction, but then I thought, nope, I don't see that correct answer there either. So I went back and I looked and I added wrong. There's another mistake, and one little mistake is going to give you a whole wrong answer. That's why I always ask you to show your work, because I can help you figure out what you did wrong. So 6 plus 2 is 8, and 8 plus 9 is 17. The answer is 7/18, and we see it right here. That cannot be reduced. Good luck on the quiz. Take your time. Yeah, and if you want to come and do some different practice problems beforehand, make sure you go to the 1 o'clock session. All right, bye.